What's up XRP family, thank you guys for joining the video. Here we can see a very interesting video, and I will also show you guys a glitch that happened. Now I don't know 100% if the glitch is real, but I think it is because the guy actually made a video. I haven't seen it myself, but you have to ask yourself, why do these glitches happen on XRP? A lot of people have witnessed them and they happen often, right? And we're getting so close to so many things actually happening. So let's start off with this interesting video. Here we have the M-Bridge, cross-border, DLT, atomic settlement, CBDC, stablecoins. Who do you think they could be talking about? Now listen very carefully and connect the dots, okay? It's very easy. They use all these terms. Now who do you think that they are using, right? Let's take a look.
Where we can tokenize deposits, use a DLT network. With a smart contract, can you solve this problem? It removes the operator's dependency. It removes many of the intermediary constructs which we have today. Can this be an opportunity to solve this problem end to end, from issuance to settlement? Wholesale CBDC. This kind of a patchwork in between. You can have your current existing infrastructure to run your front end the way you run today, but the middle part, especially the settlement and the reconciliation and all the processes in between, can be solved through a wholesale CBDC architecture, which is nothing but M-Bridge and Dunbar, those kind of project. They are solving this part, which is essentially solving the last mile reconciliation and the settlement issue of the simplicity of settlement between two countries transfers.
What is he saying here, guys? Listen very carefully. He's saying they are solving the last mile. Now, if you listen to Brett Garlinghouse, he's always talking about the last piece of solving cross-border payments. And it's that settlement process, that pre-funding. And he's saying exactly the same thing. What do you think that they're using? Again, wholesale CBDC, DLT for insurance and settlement, multi-party linkages and transparency. You can see, guys, they are all the same. They're saying the same things. Alternative mechanisms, stablecoin.
This is where I'll challenge stablecoin. My bet is, if the stablecoin people get it right, and if they can focus on a domestic stablecoin and tokenize those against, which is backed by one-to-one fiat or high quality assets, they actually need no complex system. You can actually use one of the stable coin and transfer instantly to other party. It has implication if it's a large value for monetary policy of the country. But if we all agree on a domestic low value transfer with well-regulated stablecoin entity, well-regulated, I want to repeat, because many times central bankers, BIS say so-called stablecoin, but let us change it from so-called stablecoin to well-regulated stablecoin. Well-regulated means they are
Well-regulated coin. So he's not talking about stablecoin, USDT or USDC. He's talking about a well-regulated stablecoin. What does that mean? It means some kind of digital asset that can be used and is stable, has a stable price. This is what they want to do with XRP. XRP needs to be a very high price, but it needs to be stable around that range so it can be used. It's all clear now, guys. We have been talking about this for years, and everything is happening in front of our eyes.
They're complying to all the rules and regulations. They are complying to all the domestic capital rules. And if we find a mechanism to do a low value transfer network using stablecoin, it can dramatically remove all the structural expenses we carry today.
Insane. Remove all the expenses. Now this is the end goal, to remove the settlement fees. Now this is the glitch that I was talking about. So here's a picture first, and then glitch XRP at market cap today. So we can literally see a current price of $6,000, and here you can see $302 trillion market cap, right? So if you think this was photoshopped, now there's also a video here. Let's take a look. So the video is actually playing now, and you can see that he's scrolling and showing what happened with the price. Now, I know that this can still be done, guys, with some kind of, and I can also see now that this is another currency as well. But you can clearly see that there is a glitch in the market cap as well, which is in the trillions of dollars here. We can see it here very good. But of course, there are ways to do this still and fake it. But anyway, we're talking about a huge glitch, which is happening a lot of times, guys. And that's just not coincidence. Let's try this again. Why is the US government and other governments namely excluded from this question at Bill Hinman's deposition? SEC did not view Ripple's sales of XRP as securities transactions. So did the SEC tell the US government and other government it's not security. Very strange. Okay, now setting aside meetings with other members of any government, did you ever tell any person outside of the SEC that you did not view Ripple sales of XRP as securities transactions? So I'm talking about parties alone. No. And then objection. Did you ever witness any person from the SEC? So you can clearly see that this is all made to stall time, guys. Chinese firm OPay has an XRPL account investing 100 million into Pakistani expansion, adding to countries already served like Nigeria, which is a Ripplenet partner. I recall an OPay XRPL wallet from years ago, but they now go by Pay Online on XRPL. Insane. You will have these companies that will use XRP Ledger to make transactions. It's crazy what is happening right now. Were Ripple executives reckless? If Ripple loses, Larson will owe the SEC $450 million and Garninghouse $150 million in disgorgement penalties. Now, they can still pay that and be healthy. That's the crazy thing about Ripple. They have $1 billion in cash. They are healthy. Even if they pay these fees, of course, it's a large amount of money. It will not be a good thing. But just think about that even if this were to happen, they are still healthy. And here Johnny Deaton actually goes into some kind of facts that actually show that Ripple cannot lose this case. Said another way, the judge must find that no reasonable jury could ever conclude that the two executives were not reckless. With that in mind, let's consider some facts. SEC enforcement lawyers were allowed to own and trade XRP until March of 2019. So that's fact number one. Here we can see also in 2015, the CFTC stated that Bitcoin and other similar cryptocurrencies are properly classified commodities, right? In 2018, Hinman declared BTC and ETH non-securities and said there were other networks sufficiently decentralized, what the GAO said re-XRP in 2014. So basically, in a way, they could never have been reckless because they actually sought clarity and they never got it. Here we can see, I hear rumors going around there is a confidential committee being organized to talk about the Fed buying our XRP. But it's an extremely confidential committee. It's so confidential that nobody should know about it. Now, the thing is with this buyback, guys, it's a possible scenario, right? But let's just look at the utility. Let's just look at the utility of XRP and just wait for price to move. We don't have to talk about buybacks right now. When it happens, it will be great. But there's too much talks about buybacks and these crazy prices in people's minds. Let's just get to $100 first and then see, right? Because that's already a very, very big move. Nothing is stopping a country from creating a CBDC backed by gold on the XRP ledger. Now, this is what I'm talking about. The utility already shows us that XRP will be such a high value asset that you don't even want to sell it. Let's take a look.
National currencies with on a gold standard, just like Russia has done, right? But that they wouldn't. It was too cumbersome in the world we live in today to be putting tons of gold on military aircraft and shipping them back and forth between countries to settle up transactions at the central bank level. So why not price a digital asset? Why not use the best one, the most useful, and basically just tie that 1-to-1 to an ounce of gold? And that's where we kind of came up with this, concept that you could see some people sitting around the table going, we're going to go back to a gold standard. we're going to write up these assets, we're going to write up gold into what the implied price already was, and then using XRP to communicate that value digitally instead of having to actually do it physically.
Insane, guys. Now this actually makes a lot of sense, to tie gold with XRP on a one-to-one basis, and then silver, for example, to XLM, which is Stellar, which is the perfect example of what could happen in a case of XRP being used, because XRP needs to be high value and it needs to be tied to something physical as well, which makes sense, right? And gold, there is no better thing than gold. Let's see what happens, guys. It's a very interesting time. Don't put your XRP on exchanges, always put it on a ledger, cold wallet. Thank you very much for watching this video, guys. See you in the next one. Cheers.